Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to The Acolyte Season 1, Episode 8, titled The Acolyte. Confrontation and Revelation Awaits. So, I, once again, am going to go back and say I was too harsh on the last episode. One, it's been 2 weeks since I actually watched that, so I've had ample time to sit and think on it. And even the day later, when I watched it again, it was nowhere near as bad as I gave it credit for. I feel like that's the wrong way to say that, but so we were told, well, not told, but it was put out that there would be one episode of this season that was a Rashomon episode. I did mention this in an earlier one, I forget which one, but that's an old Japanese movie. I think it's Japanese. Um, where you get a series of events told by 3 different people. Each of them have vastly different stories of the same events. And we were told that there was going to be an episode like that in this series. So we all thought that the episode where we revisit the flashback would be that from a completely different perspective. I wasn't expecting so much of it to be repeated scenes, and even the new scenes, they weren't different perspectives. The old scenes weren't different perspectives. There was only 2 times where you could really say it was. One was when Soul was seeing Mother Coral come out and grab the girls from behind the tree. That was very vastly different between what we saw in the first flashback and what Soul interpreted that as, because it seemed a lot more aggressive and that the second time. And the other one was when Soul was reaching out for both of the girls. In the second time we saw that, he's actually using the Force on the platforms, and then he chooses to save Osha. But the first time, we don't see him using the Force on the platforms. We see him reach out for May and then rush over to grab Osha. Like, that is vastly different than what we were initially told. That is Rashomon. The rest was not. That was just retelling it with a different person as the focal point. And yeah, so that's what sort of got me into the headspace. That, and I was already tired at the start of the first recording, and I don't normally do back to back. So that drained me and also brought my enjoyment down. Anyway, enough talking about the last episode. Let's get on to this episode. Yep, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. I still don't know what happened to Mother Coral. Nor how May survived. You know, one thing that was pointed out to me is that killing without a weapon does not necessarily mean killing without their training. Because Vader quite regularly killed people without his weapon. He force choked them. So couldn't you just like snap their neck, force choke, yeet them off a cliff? Like, would that be counted as using a weapon? Is the force a weapon? I mean, it's an extension of oneself, and oneself can be a weapon, so is using your own body a weapon? Now we're back to the sensory deprivation thing. Still want to do one of those. I reckon it'd be torture, but I still want to try it. I thought so. That looked like the same colour that it was with Torben. Okay, so she can do the mind control thing too. Even from within the helmet. I guess it doesn't stop you using the force, so. In fact, it's meant for you to use the force, so. So I guess that's no, the force does work. Okay. Hmm. Can you? Will he let you? Seems fair. No, that the virgins can create life. Hmm. What? Is it gonna say they're the same person? Half of the same person? Double the same person? Thank you for saying that out loud and telling Sol where you're going. Didn't even notice we hadn't gotten the title yet. That's cool. I was about to say, wouldn't that be doing considerable damage to his ship? And then we saw the windscreen crack. What are you looking onto her for? You gonna I thought you wanted her alive. What do you not are you doing, Buzz? Oh, cause like you tracked May there, you antagonized her a little, and now you're saving her. I was sort of expecting him to say, "Should I not have?" It is. It's Martian Manhunter. I thought it was with the voice, but oops. You already let slip one piece of information. You're getting more. That's fair. His own son. It's gonna be weird him not being the green one on screen. How did we still don't know how he met May? Like, how did she get off Brenda? Was he there? I do not recognize that race. But someone was creeping around in Kimmy's cave. Is he an apprentice himself? And trying to overthrow his master like we initially thought? Because they did say we'd see two Sith. And I wouldn't really call May a Sith. Is that Ian McDermott? That sounded like Palpatine, but there's no way that Palpatine would be on the Senate. Would he be old enough? Then again, there was a child senator in the Clone Wars, so possibly it definitely wouldn't sound like actual Palpatine though. Where's the skeleton? Skeletons don't decompose. How do you think Sol and that got in? They climbed the outside. But that didn't really sound like he was climbing. Nor did it sound like he force jumped like we all told Sol to do, or thought Sol should have done. Now, I thought there was going to be a little alcove or something that she was in. She stole her hairstyle, she stole her outfit, she stole her droid. She basically turned into her sister. fully. Hmm. Not a bad effort considering the controls were smashed from the inside. You're gonna take that. Okay, I guess you're not taking the bridge down. Fair enough. I thought he was gonna grab the red ones. Hmm. Maybe my whole. By the end of it, they switch isn't too far out of the picture. And she's talking. Yeah, Pip's not on your side anymore. Hmm. Yeah, she's definitely given into the darkness. Oh, that was nice. The two apprentices and the two masters. Everyone likes disappearing on you, don't they, Osha? Sol is making real careful not to hit the helmet. Oh, that's a nice tactic. If he won't hit the helmet himself, bring the lightsaber into the helmet. Yeah. That's two lightsabers we've seen cut. Don't you still have the little one? It is as Osha saw. Didn't she say she was holding the saber though while she did it? Mm, you had the right intention. Did you do the right thing? Hmm. You seemed a little interested in what. She spotted Osha behind him. It wasn't May. And honestly, I think deep down she knew it wasn't May. I mean, she could have been a little confused considering they are identical, but she's holding the lightsaber. She's got her hand out. Huh. Is that the first time we've actually seen a kyber crystal be blood? It's also telling that the first time we actually see her use the Force as a, I guess, is she a teen or a young adult? Is to kill her old master. Because we saw her use it as a kid, but hmm. And of course, the Jedi couldn't find anywhere to land in time. Okay, there is a link between Venestra and Chimera. What are you going to do, Venestra? Because you know who is actually behind this. Really, that could have been done the whole time? I guess now we got to see a practical reason as to why he wears the helmet. Like, sure, he told us that was why, but hmm. Okay, at least we do get an answer as to how she survived. Just sort of got by the vacuum system. Your psychometry can go back that far? Interesting. Hmm. But that also means that you know what actually happened now. You should also be able to tell what actually happened in this battle. I mean, we did know she could use psychometry because she did in after the battle at Kalnakas, and so did Mog. Isn't it meant to be a rare ability? Oh, right. Basil's the tracker. I was thinking, you have a tracker on one of the girls? Back where it all began. The ducted heating's going on because apparently my parents think it's cold. It's only like single digits. That's not cold. Huh. It's not even single digits. It's 11. Hmm. You will meet the same fate. Not we will. Is she saying that she herself is not as powerful as Oshiro? Hmm. Now I'm going back to the whole he generally does seem to care about them. That's not what you wanted. I'm I've just realized that since she bled that lightsaber, technically OSHA's the second Sith that we see in this. So I'm back to who was the guy in the cave? They really have reversed it, because it was always May who said, "I give you you." In a way, they did give each other them, since they ended up in the other's shoes. Does Pip have any recorded memory? Because that could be an issue for Osha and Camille. Camille. So if May's been reverted back to how she was at 8, you'd think she'd be more like she was when she was 8. Sure, confusion of being an adult with an 8-year-old mind, but now would she have thought to have done this had Mulk not given her the idea? She gave him the cremation, a proper burial. So she's able to get faint traces of a memory, but she can't actually remember. Okay, he was the Padawan, or apprentice, or acolyte, possibly. If she is as long lived as we, well, know her to be, she's probably had multiple Padawans. Can they have multiple Padawans? Hmm. I thought it was over. Of course it is. Because who else would be old enough to still be there that she would be reporting to? Nothing after the credits, okay? That sort of feels like it should have been after the credits. But, okay, yeah. I think I'm going to stick with my, earlier review of this series. I know I said that it was only partway through and I can't really give it a definitive. This was a very middle of the line series. Was it the best thing I've seen this year? No. That goes to X-Men 97. And Deadpool and Wolverine, which I saw the other day. But is it absolutely terrible? No. Is it bad? No. Would I say it goes below a 5 out of 10? No, I'd say it doesn't go below a 7. I'd probably give it the 7.5, just to say it's in between 7 and 8, because I don't think it's quite an 8, but it's not bad enough to be a 7, so yeah, it's perfectly servable, average. It left itself open-ended, and the future season, if we do get one, because as I've said before, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, and they're the ones that get listened to when it comes to whether something gets a second season or not. So, who knows if we're going to get another season with how people were talking about the show. But I think we should. Okay, it's definitely not that. Nor was he. Possibly. Well, okay, I guess that's sort of saying it is. I sort of thought that the one that we saw in the cave at the start of the episode, well, towards the start, I thought maybe that was Tenebris, because he's the one who should be active at the moment. But it's definitely not matching the race that they've assigned Tenebris in other media that we've seen. So then I thought possibly Plagueis, though again they're playing with ages if it is. But yeah, so I loaded up Darth Plagueis's wiki page, which initially has a very different looking race, but I click on it and it's the picture of the guy in the cave. So yeah, I guess Plagueis was the one who was in the cave. I'm going to assume that that has been confirmed, given the fact that it's on the wiki. I would like to find where that is sourced, because that definitely does not look like what was originally set as the race. The Moon race. I think that's how you pronounce it. Trying to think, where would we have seen that race before? Because the race looks familiar. seen him in multiple episodes of the Clone Wars. Is that the Bankers Guild? Is that the moon race? Yes. Yes, they are. Okay. Yeah, that is a very different appearance for live action then. If also doesn't help that we can't see half his face, so yeah, I guess we were lied to. Technically, we saw 3 Sith. Because technically, Osha's not a Sith, she's an apprentice. She was never granted the title, never taken on by a proper Sith trainer until the end, where she agreed to train, but technically Kamir also wasn't a Sith. He says, you would call me Sith, but that's not him calling himself Sith. So, is it possible that when they say we'll see 2 in the show, it means across multiple seasons? Could we see Palpatine and the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Is the second season going to delve into how Plagueis learned how to control life using the Force? Like, is he going to get to Osha or May and learn from them how they were created by the... Could he be working with Coral and learn from her how Anastasia used the Force to create life? Because it is... I don't know if it's canon anymore, but it's heavily implied that Anakin was created by the Force. And it's also implied in one of the comics, I think it is, that Sidious had a hand behind that. And considering Sidious was the apprentice of Plagueis, and he's the one who told Anakin about how Plagueis knew how to stop people from dying and manipulate the life force and everything, it does seem like that's going to be an important part of future seasons. And we could well be learning how he became Darth Plagueis the Wise. But I got called about 15 minutes ago to tell me my lunch was ready, so I should probably end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one, if there is one.